I'm going to share an actual conversation that I had with an extraterrestrial being just this week. It was on Monday, on my birthday, November 20th, in fact. And I was hoping it would be like celebratory and exciting and happy and uplifting. But the conversation that I had with this being was actually very serious and contemplative. So stick around if you want to hear an actual conversation I had with an extraterrestrial this week. Let's go. By the way, my name is Lauren. I am a singer, songwriter, dancer. I am also an energy healer and a psychic. So, this being that I've been talking to is about 30 years old, and he is very human like. So, he is from the Pleiades star cluster. And from what I gather, most of them look very human. Their bodies are very strong. They have a very high vibration, very strong energy field. Very beautiful. Beautiful, like gorgeous, human looking. And so we connect. And so the first thing he asks me is, what does four eyes mean? I'm like, it's so random. And so I explain when you have glasses, it's like you have four eyes, and a lot of younger kids make fun of people with glasses. And this is a way to insult them and to poke fun at them. It's a mean and bullying thing to do to call someone a four eyes. And he's just kind of taking it in. And then he says, why did you cut your hair? Why did you cut and dye your hair? Why did you change your hair? So I used to have very long blonde hair. I was bleaching it. And I recently just chopped it off and turned it back to brown. And so I explained, well, I did this so it could be healthy. I said, when you bleach it, it's very damaging to your hair. And although I prefer myself with blonde hair, I like the way it looks, um, I did this in order to really care for my hair and to get it healthy. And he's just kind of taking it in again. He's just like, hmm. He finds it very fascinating that I can't just have the color hair that I want, right? It's it causes me harm to create the hair color that I desire. So he's just taking this in. It's very different where he's from and in his vibration that his society lives in. The next question he asked me, he says, do you like sweets? And he kind of shows me some ice cream and some cake, which I'm like, hey, birthday related, yeah. And I said, yes, I love sweets. And I said, I used to eat sweets all the time. But here comes the but. I said, but they're not good for you. The sugar is not good for your body, and it's very inflammatory. So, in no way is it good for you. And then he's just contemplating this again. And the word that I hear is like he's flabbergasted. And that's not a word I use, but I just hear he's flabbergasted at all these things I'm saying and how harmful they are. And he's just kind of taking in the sugar thing. And he's like, so it's something you enjoy, brings you enjoyment and pleasure, but it hurts you. He just can't understand this because it's so like I'm seeing then in his society how these things are so different. And so he's taking the three things together and really just starting to understand Earth. And he's like, so it's so hard. It's hard, just your daily life. Like you don't have freedom to really do whatever you want. And like, he's like, so you have a vision impairment, which is already bad enough. And then people make fun of you on top of that. And if you want to change your hair to a different color, it's hurtful. And if you want to eat food that you like, it's hurtful to your body. And he's just like, he can't understand, or he just can't. He's flabbergasted. He's flabbergasted, to say the least, at how just basic everyday life things are so challenging here on Earth. The next thing, he doesn't ask me a question, but he shows me roads, and he just says, this makes no sense to me. You know, why wouldn't you just go directly from point A to point B in the most efficient path? Why would you design something that's all out of the way? I mean, of course, he gets that that's our technology. Like, he gets it, right? But, to him and where they live, it's like, well, you just go from point A to point B. You take the most efficient path. You wouldn't go here and around a detour and just like roads, man. Roads, what a waste of time and energy to have to go around places instead of just going in there. So he's like, dang, like it's hard to just live. Looking at our food and water, like he's really looking to see how things are here on Earth. And he goes, and your food is poison and your water is poisoned. I say, yep, food supply is poisoned, water supply is poisoned. So the things we're eating and putting into our bodies are toxic for us. Unless you have a lot of money and can buy the organic and the cleaner stuff. Just like you can't even eat. Can't even drink, can't take a road, like got to go all over the road. You can't just go from point A to point B. Say, yep, our food supply is poisoned, our water supply is poisoned, and everything, like almost everything around us is full of toxic chemicals, and the things, objects around us are also full of poisonous chemicals and synthetic materials that drain our life force energy. He's just like, my God. And I see him kind of looking, and then he's like, and so this money thing, you have to have money in order to have like your basic needs met. And in order to do things, most things, you have to have money. Like you can't just do things. You can't just do whatever you want. You have to have money and you have to work and put your life force energy into something in order to earn money to do things. Like you don't just have total freedom to do things. Like, nope, that's the money system. And I say, unfortunately, most people are trapped and enslaved. I consider a system of modern slavery that we have to go to school, have to go to college, and we're kept very poor. Like overall, the population is kept poor. We're just making ends meet, and we don't have freedom. We don't have financial abundance overall. So our freedom is very limited because of the monetary system. And it's just like I'm just seeing how different this is from their society where there's just total freedom, like total freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, go from point A to point B. If you want to change your hair color, you just change it. They don't have vision problems. And if they did, people are so loving and respectful. They wouldn't make fun of you. If you want to eat foods, your foods are healthy for any food. The food that they have is good for you. The water is good for you. It's not hurting you. It's not damaging you. And then the last thing, oh wait, no, two more things. So I'm going to try to wrap this up really quick. So, and then I also say, and most people have childhood trauma. They've experienced some sort of painful things and they're carrying a lot of pain in their hearts. So people have pain, they have suffering. They also don't know that they are the creator, and they also don't know that their souls never die. So we're fearful of death. And then the last thing, he shows me a picture of a Barbie doll and he says, so you give this to your children, and then the women think their bodies have to look like this because of this beauty standard. But then most people's bodies don't look like that. I said, yep, it's fucked up. It makes no sense. And he's like, but people's bodies don't all look like that. And then these women spend their entire lives hating their bodies. And yep, kind of summarizes life on Earth. And he's just flabbergasted how difficult things are here. So I also just want to say, if you are on Earth right now, you are awesome. Like the struggles here are immense, like in other places, from all my interactions with ETs, like life is so much easier. And I mean, they have their own challenges and struggles in their own way, but just Earth is a hard place to be, and you're doing awesome. Okay, love you guys. Bye.